and welcome back to my channel Under the Evo Tree. My name is Aoife, if you don't already know, and today we're going to go through a sequence to clear out all energy and invite in the new. So it is New Year's Eve tomorrow. Think about that. So I thought this was the perfect time for such a practice. We'll do some gentle twisting, some releasing poses, just creating space to invite in whatever it is you want to bring into the new year with you. And as well, if you, obviously if it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, it's been Christmas recently, as you can see by the tree is still here. So you might be having had a very easy time over Christmas, maybe watching a lot of movies, just taking it easy, getting lots of relaxation and rest in. And you might not have moved a whole amount, so we'll be taking it gently. Nothing too crazy in today's practice, just to get the body moving, the energy moving, kind of letting the stagnant energy just get kind of shifted through the system, releasing it out so you can start the new year super fresh and open to invite in all the greatness that we're going to have in 2021. At least we hope so. So if you want to get started seating, if you prefer cross-legged, go for that. If you prefer kneeling or legs out in front, whatever is comfortable for you. And then whenever you are ready, just resting the hands onto the thighs and closing down the eyes. So I'll take a few moments here, just arriving into your space. Maybe gently tucking down the chin, checking you're sitting nice and tall through the spine, shoulders are relaxed down the back. Feeling the contact points between you and the ground. Noticing the space around you, listening to any sounds. And just taking the attention into the body, into the breath. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of the chest. Maybe feel the filling and emptying of the belly. Maybe feel the breath moving through the nostrils. So just resting the attention wherever it's most obvious and noticeable for you. I'll just take a few moments here, watching the breath. And if you notice you get distracted by thoughts at any point, just each time gently taking the attention back to the breath. And now before we start moving, we're just going to set an intention for the practice. The intention of releasing whatever is no longer serving you, whatever you want to leave behind in 2020, and intending to create that space to invite in whatever you need for 2021 to make it the best year yet. And maybe you know what these things are, maybe you know specifically what you want to leave behind and invite in, or maybe you have no idea. So maybe this practice is just giving you that bit of space to let that bubble up in your mind. Maybe by the end of the class, or maybe throughout the day or tomorrow, some things might come to you of what you'd like to release and invite in. Just holding that intention in your heart space. What can I release? What do I want to invite in? And taking the attention back into the room, so imagining the space around you, hearing any sounds, feeling the contact between you and the ground once more, and then gently blinking open your eyes, coming back into the space. We're just going to take the left hand over to the right knee, our right hand coming behind us at the base of the spine on the mat. Inhaling to grow nice and tall, lifting through the crown of the head, and exhale, twisting to the right. So feeling the belly, the chest, the shoulders twist to the right. You just keep the gaze to the side for the first few breaths. And then after a few more breaths, you might take the gaze over that right shoulder towards the back of your room. Just feeling that twist throughout the body, working into any of the stiff or kind of dormant areas after the last week or two of the Christmas festivities. One more inhale. Exhale, releasing that, coming back to face the front and then swapping over. So right hand over to the left knee, left hand behind you at the base of the spine, resting on the mat. You can be on fingertips here if you can't get the palm of the hand down. I'm usually up on the fingertips. Inhale, growing nice and tall. Exhale, twisting to the left. Breathing here, nice and slowly. Noticing where you feel the body twisting, areas that are now getting release. Maybe taking the gaze behind the left shoulder. One more inhale. We'll exhale, releasing back to face the front. And then we're going to come forward onto our hands and knees. So shoulders are above the wrists, the hips are above the knees, tops of the feet pressing into the mat. We're going to inhale, drop the belly down, chest is broad and forward, gazing either forward or up to the ceiling. And we'll exhale, pushing into the hands and rounding the spine. So tucking the tailbone down and the chin tucks into the chest. Inhale, drop the belly down, the chest comes forward, gaze comes forward. And exhale, curling in, rounding the spine. Inhale, dropping the belly down. And exhale, rounding the spine. Do a few more rounds of this, so you can take any other movement you like. So maybe swaying the hips once you get into cat or cow. Swaying the shoulders, the torso. Maybe moving backwards and forward as you come through the poses. Just matching the breath with the movement, feeling the body as it moves. We'll do one more of each. Inhaling, exhaling, and then coming back to center. We're going to first get all my hair out of my face. We're going to lift the right hand up to the ceiling. So you're opening up to the right, and then taking the right hand between the left hand and the left knee, so the right shoulder can rest down onto the mat. You can keep that left hand where it is, or walk it out in front, straightening that left hand. Now if you find this very difficult, or your shoulder is not reaching the mat, you can go grab a pillow, stick it underneath that shoulder, bring the ground a bit closer to you. Breathing here again, feeling the twist through the torso. Seeing, can you release something towards the mat? One more inhale. One more exhale. We'll walk that left hand back towards the body. We'll lift the right hand back up to the ceiling, opening up and releasing it back down up to the mat. Now opposite side, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Inhaling here and exhaling, sliding that left hand between the right side, the right hand, the right foot. And again, you can leave the right hand where it is or walking it out in front. Resting here, breathing nice and slowly. Each inhale, inviting in something new. Inviting in space. And exhaling, releasing, seeing, can you let go of something? Whether it's tension, maybe a thought. Releasing it to the ground. I'll do one more inhale, one more exhale. And walking that right hand back in, we'll lift ourselves up, bring the left hand up to the ceiling and back down onto the mat. So just checking out your position, making sure the shoulders are still over the wrists. The knees and hips are one under the other. And then keeping the hips above the knees, you're going to start to walk the hands out in front, coming into puppy pose. So walking them out as far as you can and then releasing the chest towards the mat. So the tops of the feet, trying to press them into the ground. Arms are strong here, so really pressing the palms of the hands, the knuckles, the fingertips into the mat. Breathing here. One more inhale. Exhale, lifting the chest up, walking the hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll tuck underneath the toes now and send the hips back and up to the ceiling, coming into your downward facing dog. So you can pedal out the legs, bending one knee, straightening the other, gazing back to the thighs, maybe coming right up onto the tippy toes, bending the knees, sending the hips to the ceiling, and then releasing the heels towards the mat. Take 4 breaths here. So inhaling to fill the belly. Exhale, releasing it all out. Inhaling. Exhaling, releasing. 2 more like that. Inhaling. Exhale, releasing. Last time, inhale. And exhale, releasing it all. We're going to lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Bring the knee to the nose, stepping the foot between the hands, and then the right knee can come down onto the mat. So we're coming into our low lunge. So you can come just the hands resting on the knee, and the hips sink down. Or if you want, reaching the hands up to the ceiling, belly button is drawn in, gazing forward. We're breathing here. We're going to take the hands to prayer at the chest, and the right elbow is coming over to the left knee, either resting on the fleshy part of the thigh or bringing it to the outside of the left knee and twisting to the left. Breathing in here and exhaling. Can you release, sink a little deeper into the twist? Inhaling to create space and exhaling to release. We'll do 1 more inhale. Exhale, we'll turn back to face the front. The hands can frame the front foot and stepping back to your downward facing dog. It's up to you whether you want to pedal the legs or stay in stillness with the heels reaching down. Breathing here. 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Then we'll lift the right leg up to the ceiling. Bring the right knee to the nose, step the foot through, letting the left knee this time come onto the mat. Top of the left foot pressing into the ground. And again, whatever you did on the other side, so either hands resting on the knee or reaching the fingertips up. Gazing forward. Squeezing the legs together to really build strength in the body, in your foundation of the legs. 1 more inhale. We'll exhale to release the hands down to prayer in front of the heart. We're going to take the left elbow this time onto the outside of the right knee. If you can't get quite that far, you can be resting up on top of the thigh. Pressing the palms into each other as you're twisting to the right. Breathing here. One more inhale. Exhale, releasing the hands to frame the foot and stepping back to your downward facing dog. Seeing, can you slow down the breath here? We'll do 1 more inhale and 1 more exhale. Then we're going to inhale to shift forward into our plank, so shoulders over the wrists, hips are in line with the shoulders, and then exhale, lower knee, belly, chest, all the way down to the mat. We're going to inhale, lift the chest into cobra, then exhale, press the hands into the mat, send the hips back and up to the ceiling into your downward facing dog. And you have the option also to choose child's pose, so letting the hips come down to the heels, whichever one is calling you. We'll do 2 more breaths here in downward facing dog or child's pose. then on our next inhale, lifting the left leg up once again. Exhaling the knee to the nose, stepping the foot through. And this time we're going to walk the left foot to the outside, not the outside, sorry, to the edge of the mat, taking the left hand inside of the left foot. So the hands are underneath the shoulders here, and you can either keep that back knee lifted or lowering it down and tucking the back toes, whichever feels better for you. Maybe this is part of releasing maybe competitiveness or feeling like you have to do the hardest option, inviting in ease or playfulness. So just seeing maybe what resonates with you today. So wherever you are, hands are underneath the shoulders. You're trying to let the hips sink down. So just inhaling the breath deep down towards the hips, creating space here. As you exhale, seeing, can you soften? Can you release somewhere? Maybe nothing actually moves, but maybe just imagining the hips are sinking closer to the mat. That's what I always do. If things are meant to release closer to somewhere and I'm like, nothing's moving, I just visualize it. I just imagine the hips sinking closer. Maybe one day they'll eventually get there. We'll do one more inhale, one more exhale. Then we can walk that left foot back between the hands and step back to our downward facing dog. Maybe this time you would like a pedal out to release out the hips, maybe taking the hips side to side. Coming back to the center. And we'll inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale the knee to the nose, stepping the foot between the hands. And then you can walk that right foot out to the edge of the mat. Right hand comes inside the foot so it's underneath the shoulder. And if you had the knee lifted on the last side, doing so again. And if you drop the knee, doing so again. So just repeating whatever you did on the left side. So wherever you are, just letting the hips sink down. The chest is forward, you're looking forward. So we're sinking and releasing, but we're open to the front, looking forward to that future. Inviting it in. Maybe visualizing what you want to achieve, what you want to happen. As you surrender into the pose. We'll do one more inhale. One more exhale. And then we'll walk that right foot back between the hands and step back to your downward facing dog. Again, you can also take child's pose. We'll hold here for a few breaths. Trying to slow down the breath. Reconnecting with the body here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to shift forward to plank. We're exhaling, either lowering knees, chest, chin, or through chaturanga. Inhale, lifting the chest. You're going to come into upward facing dog. So pressing the hands into the mat to straighten the arms. Pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the knees off the mat. You can either gaze forward or take the gaze up to the ceiling. Really pressing the hands, the tops of the feet into the ground. Can the hips sink a little bit lower. If you're not feeling upward facing dog, you can lower the knees, come into cobra, elbows bent. We're going to do one more inhale. Exhale, tuck in the chin and send the hips back and up to the ceiling. Downward facing dog. Breathing here, releasing it all out. And then looking forward to the hands, we're going to bend the knees and slowly walk, step or hop the feet forward. Coming into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet hip distance apart. Maybe giving the head a shake. Maybe giving the shoulders a little sway. And gently bending the knees and tucking in the chin. We're slowly rolling up through the spine. Coming to standing. Ooh. Relaxing the shoulders down the back when you get to your standing position. So you can be anywhere on your mat here. We're going to take the feet together. Let the hands reach down. You can either take them so the palms are facing down to the mat as if they're pressing onto the ground. So it really strengthens the upper body. Kind of brings a lift through the body to lighten the load as you're off your feet. We're going to take the left leg off of the ground, bringing the ankle on top of the right knee. So maybe the ankle actually will be kind of hanging over the knee, so you don't have your ankle bone pressing into your flat. So you can stay here, having a little wobble. Or you can start to lower the sit bones down, so you're bending the right knee. And if you prefer, you can take the hands to prayer here. So we have a figure of 4 with the legs, and coming into a seated chair pose. Breathing here, feeling where this is stretching or in the body. So I'm feeling it really in my left outer glute, feeling it a bit in the right as well, the right calf and thigh. Maybe taking the hand, wobbling all over the place here, one onto the ankle, one onto the knee. Seeing can you lower a little bit deeper, but keeping the chest open, looking forward as you're sending the hips back. We're going to do one more inhale. Then exhale, press into that right foot. To gracefully rise up, release the left leg. Maybe give the legs, the hips a little shake out. For bringing the feet back together, pressing the hands towards the ground, standing up nice and tall. We're shifting the weight onto the left leg this time as we lift up the right knee. And taking the right ankle just over that knee, over the left knee. And then starting to lower the sit bones down. Do it from the side this time, just so you can see. Taking the hands to prayer. If I can get my balance this time. As you lower the sit bones down, so we're looking forward, chest is broad. Kind of tuck in the tailbone and then lowering it down again. If you want to take one hand onto the knee, one hand onto the ankle. Seeing can you lower the sit bones a little bit lower. Looking forward to your future as your sit bones release down, releasing the past. 2 more breaths. 1 more inhale. Exhale, press into that left leg to lift up, release the right leg down. Give the legs and hips a little bit of a shake. Coming back, feet together. Shifting the weight over to the right leg this time. We're going to come onto the left big toe, draw the knee out to the left. So you can take the hands to prayer here, or you can have them again pressing down towards the mat. Just tucking in the chin ever so slightly so the back of the neck is long, reaching up through the crown of the head. You can stay here with the big toe resting on the mat or sliding the sole of the foot up the right leg. So it's on the calf or maybe on the inner thigh. Wherever is available for you. Just picking a point right in front of you to gaze at, to narrow your focus. Breathing here. Feeling the right foot press into the mat. So feeling the leg rooting down and then feeling the lift in the upper body. Lift up through the spine, through the crown of the head. I'll do 1 more inhale. 1 more exhale. Maybe if you want, you can take the hands up overhead, spreading the arms wide. Just taking a breath here. Before taking the hands back together, releasing them down to the heart. Releasing that left leg, giving the legs another little shake. Bringing the soles, the feet together. Just take a breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Shifting the weight over to the left leg, coming onto the right big toe, drawing the right knee out to the right. And try not to dump all the weight now into that left leg. So you're zipped up through the hips, through the spine, through the front of the body, lifting through the back of the body, grounding down. Take the hands to prayer, maybe sliding that sole, the right sole of the foot up the left leg. Just making sure not to put the foot on the knee joint. So you have the foot either above or below the knee. And bringing the fingertips to rise up to the ceiling. Again, feeling the left foot, the left leg rooting and grounding down into the mat. Feeling the spine lengthen up through the body, through the ceiling. Maybe arms coming wide. We'll do one more inhale. Exhale, take the hands back together, lowering them down to the heart, releasing out the legs. One last time, giving yourself a little shake, releasing out anything else. And then bringing yourself feet together. Actually, no, we'll take the feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Inhale, take the arms overhead. And exhale, folding down, just letting the arms hang heavy, bending into the knees, maybe taking hold of opposite elbow here. Swaying the shoulders, the hips, whatever you kind of can, just to release out any last tensions from the upper body. And then coming back to stillness, just taking a moment here in the center. We'll release the hands down. We'll walk the feet back to downward facing dog. And just take a few long breaths here, drawing them deep into the belly. Sighing out the mouth, releasing anything else. Inhaling into the belly. Sighing out to release. One last time, inhaling. And sighing to release. And then we can take the knees onto the mat. Just sitting back onto the heels, taking the legs out in front. So coming into staff pose, we're just having the toes pointing towards the face, hands either side of the hips, nice and tall through the spine. Just taking an inhale here, looking forward, and exhaling. You can stay now with the legs straight, or just taking a very gentle bend in the knee. Inhale to reach the fingertips up, looking up between the hands. And exhale, reaching the hands forward, the gaze following them until they reach forward, maybe grabbing onto the toes, maybe they reach onto the shins. And just letting the chest relax down towards the legs. So we'll inhale here to create space in the back body, in the back of the rib cage, the back of the legs. And exhale, softening the chest down towards the mat. Inhale, filling up the back body, creating so much space. And exhaling, releasing out anything towards the mat that you want to leave behind. One more time, inhaling. Exhaling, releasing down. And we'll come back up to seated. We're going to take in the left leg now, squeezing it nice and close to the body, and you can leave it either here or step it over the right leg. So either is great. Stepping over or leaving where it was, taking the right arm around that leg, left hand comes behind you, so it's just at the base of the spine on the mat. You can take a little bit further away, create a bit more space. Inhaling nice and tall through the spine. We're going to exhale, twisting to the left. So we're taking the gaze just to the side for the first few breaths. Maybe after a couple you can take it over that left shoulder. And you can keep that right arm where it is, or you can take the elbow so it comes to the outside of the knee, fingertips pointing to the ceiling. Just deepening into the twist a little bit more. We'll do one more inhale. Exhale, releasing that, facing back to the front, releasing out the leg. Maybe giving the knees a little bit of a bounce, bringing in that right leg, squeezing it close. If you stayed here the last time, staying here now. If you stepped over, repeating that. Left arm comes around that leg, right hand behind you. Up on the fingertips, or if you can get the palm of the hand down, you go for that. Inhaling nice and tall through the spine. And exhale, twisting to the right. So again, gaze into the side just for the first few breaths. That left leg is active, so the left toes are pointing towards the face. We're not forgetting about that left leg, the toes are flopped over one way or the other. Maybe taking the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, inhaling nice and tall. Exhaling, twisting a bit more. We'll do one more inhale. Exhale, unraveling yourself, releasing out the leg, giving the knees a little bounce. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together. Letting the knees fall out to the sides. And if you find the knees are really high up, that's totally fine. Maybe you're taking the feet a little bit away from the body, seeing if that helps you just relax into the legs, releasing them a bit more. And if not, you could get some cushions if you have some nearby and just wedging them underneath the leg just so that they can actually release a little bit. If they're up here, it might feel like you're efforting a lot or kind of straining to hold them. So having that bit of support can just help them release and soften a bit more. So wherever you are, taking hold either of the shins or the ankles, we're inhaling tall through the spine and exhaling, reaching the chest forward. Trying to keep the spine long here so we're not rounding through the upper back. Just for the first few breaths. So if that means you're up here, that's great. Just we really wanting to keep the spine nice and long. And after a few breaths, just letting the upper body gently relax towards the feet. The head hanging down. The elbows can be on the knees, helping them be pushed towards the ground. Directing the breath into the space of the hips, into the thighs, creating space. Exhaling, can you soften and sink to the mat a little bit more? Noticing maybe the quietness of the mind in this pose, or maybe it's the exact opposite. Just observing the thoughts if they're there. What are they about? Just noticing them as if someone else is talking. Not engaging in them, just observing them. We'll do one more inhale. Exhale to come back up. We'll take the knees together. Just bring the hands behind us and drop the knees side to side. So releasing out the hips, the glutes. And then coming back to center. We're just going to bring the thighs together, taking hold of the back of them, shifting the weight onto the tailbone, drawing the toes up so the shins are parallel to the mat, reaching the hands out so nice and strong. Squeezing the legs together here in both poses. Trying to relax the shoulders as you reach the fingers forward. I'll do one more inhale. Then exhale, releasing the feet down, releasing the torso onto the mat, letting the shoulders relax down. I'm just going to take the knees into the chest, take a little rock side to side. And then we'll come back to center, let the feet come onto the mat. We'll just shift the hips an inch to the right, drop the knees all the way to the left, and we're going to walk the heels away from your bum. So you have a 90-degree bend in the knee joint. And the arms come out long if you've got the space, or if not, you can bend the elbows, point the fingertips back. So enjoying this one last twist. Seeing, can you release anything? Is there anything left to be just dropped down into the earth? Creating space for what's new, what you want to invite in as you go forward. We'll do one more inhale. Exhale, bringing the knees to center, shifting the hips an inch over to the right. Knees drop all the way to the left and walking the heels away from your bum. You can be gazing up to the ceiling or take the gaze the opposite direction of the knees. Surrendering here to this final twist. Inhale, taking the knees back to center, releasing the feet down, and then just taking any final movements or adjustments before you come into Shavasana, corpse pose. Maybe if you want to grab a blanket, throwing it over you, and then just turning the palms to face the ceiling, letting the toes just fall out to the sides, closing down the eyes here. Just feeling the energy that you've started to shift throughout the last, I don't know how long this was, half an hour maybe? Just feeling that energy shifting. Maybe you felt there was some areas that were quite stagnant or stiff before you started, and you can feel already there's space created. So just noticing, tuning into these areas. Just imagining the space that you created in these areas for new life, new cells, new growth as you go forward. And just letting the body sink towards the ground. Letting anything you want to leave behind you just sink down below you into the earth. Knowing that maybe once it served you, just no longer. So that it can be left behind with peace and gratitude for how it has served you in the past. Just resting here as we leave behind the old and invite in the new, letting it all assimilate for a few moments in this restful pose. Gently taking your attention back into the body, so feeling the contact points between you and the mat. Maybe giving the fingers and toes a wriggle, trying to circle the shoulders, the wrists and the ankles, maybe shrugging the shoulders, maybe my body was calling for that. Taking the movement a bit bigger and a bit bigger until eventually stretching the fingertips overhead. Taking a great big inhale to stretch the whole body. Sighing it out the mouth. Releasing the stretch, taking the knees into the chest. Just roll over to the right side, make a little cushion with the hands. Taking a moment here. Leaving behind anything you want on the mat as you push yourself up to seated. Coming back to whatever position is comfortable for you, whether it's cross-legged or kneeling. Just closing down the eyes, resting the hands so the palms face up to the ceiling, just gently tucking in the chin. Taking one last moment to reconnect to your intention from the start of the class. Maybe noticing any subtle shifts within your body, within your emotions, within your thoughts, compared to the start of class. Or maybe you want to take this intention into the next couple of days as we go into the new year. Maybe it's something that you might want to grab a journal and a pen and maybe write out what is it that you want to leave behind and what is it that you want to invite in. Taking some time to process it, think through it. We'll take our hands to prayer in front of the chest, bow our head down to our hearts, bowing our head and heart to our body, and then bowing down to the earth. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you enjoyed that flow. I hope you feel a bit more spacious, a bit more limber after the lounging around of Christmas and ready to take on the new year. And if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you want to find out when the next video is out, just subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever there's a new video. I will see you next time. Hope you have a great day and a great new year. Bye.